it's your girl Karaleise. I am here in Montreal, Canada. I literally just landed and just got into my hotel room here. Okay, y'all, so my company flew me out from Atlanta to Montreal, and I had a wonderful flight. It was nice. Everything was smooth, straight flight, no problems there. When I got to Montreal, I was able to get an Uber, and I ended up in the hotel. This is the view. It's beautiful, beautiful view right in the middle of Montreal downtown. So I had a great time. Just getting there was easy, and then I saw some of the landmarks, took a walk around the town, got a chance to see some of the landmarks. My hotel is also pretty cool and pretty nice. They have a heated pool, which I definitely checked out. It was really, really good. They have a jacuzzi, also jumped into that. And this is my hotel room, pretty standard, but basic and good enough for me. So yeah, I had a good time getting here. So I'm in Montreal for the purposes of workshops. So the way that our company works is we have these workshops with the clients, and we do it every quarter. So I work from home, as you know, but there is something that happens when you meet with people in a team. I'm not for going back to the office, but I do agree that when you meet with people for a specific time with a specific focus, you really do accomplish a lot that you probably don't accomplish by yourselves over Teams, over Slack, over chat, over whatever, over email. There's something about human beings being in the same space together where we put our minds to something and we just break out and come up with some really cool things. So we do this every 3 months to meet together with the different teams that we have. Like 5 teams right now based on what we're working on. It's not always going to be that way, and people float between teams. Right now I'm on 3 teams, but I really spend most of my energy on 1 team. So you kind of get to cross-pollinate, and you get different ideas from each other, and you come up with what you're going to deliver in the next quarter. So what it does, it helps you to really be focused on what we have to do, because we committed to it the last quarter, right? So we have to get it done, and it's a chunk of work that we think can be done within the 3 months, and it's a part of a bigger scope of work. So think of it like a sprint, but it's sprints every 2 weeks that lead up to this milestone sprint every quarter. So with doing it that way, we've found just success in being able to really accomplish the goals that we set out to, and there's just less ambiguity as to what we're doing and what's prioritized. We know at the beginning of the quarter what is prioritized. So I just found that I think being able to work with clients who have these different methodologies has really helped me to come up with best practices. The reason I can teach you guys with such conviction on the things I teach you is because I've seen it in different places. I am fortunate enough to work with large companies, small companies, to work on agile projects, waterfall projects, to work on software implementation projects, software build projects, software enhancement projects. I've been able to do all of that, and every time I get a new project with a new client, I don't know what I'm going to get, right? So there's always a sense of, oh my goodness, what is the analysis going to be on this one? I'm always surprised at what I have to deliver in the time I have to deliver it. It's always a short time and a lot of stuff, and I'm always intrigued, inspired, motivated to get it done because I'm challenged by it. It's hard, and that's why I like it, because now I have something I have to really throw everything into, and I like doing that. I like that. So when you start your careers and you get your first project and you feel a knot in your stomach because you don't know what you're going to do, and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna uncover me that I don't know what I'm doing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. It's just the norm, because you're starting out, you're new. You cannot compare your year 1 with my year 14. I've been doing it longer, so it's gonna come easier. And the people that you're working with have been doing it before you, because they've been at the company before you. They know the products, they know the people, they know the clients, so they know more. When you're new, you don't know as much, but yet still you are given responsibility to come up with requirements for products you don't know, for clients you have never talked to, and for people you're working with that you don't even know who they are either. So it's a big task, but I want you to rise to the occasion. And the way you rise to the occasion at a tactical level is you take it one step at a time. Don't try to eat the elephant whole. Don't try to boil the ocean. It's a big project, a big problem, a big thing. Give me requirements for the whole system right now. Well, you can't, okay? You have to break it down. Well, first, what of the system is a requirement? What do we need? How do we know we need it? Who said we needed it? Who can we trust? Who has the authority to make this decision as to whether we need this or not? So when you're doing a BA job, you really have to think about what is the big thing we're trying to accomplish? What are the buckets of big things that this thing needs to accomplish? And then in each bucket, you break it into smaller and smaller steps, right? It's the only way to approach it. Because if you try to get into the details so fast, not only do you lose the people you're talking to because they can't commit to what you're telling them either, you lose them. You also lose any kind of aptitude that they think you have, because they're looking to you to help guide them. And if you confuse them by jumping into all kind of detail that they don't even know what you're talking about either, then everybody's lost. You have to take it at a high level. What are the big things? And then from those big things, which of these things are more prioritized? And of those highly prioritized things, which of these things do we start with, right? So it's a challenge. So like tomorrow, when we go for this workshop, we're going to be divided into breakout rooms, and each breakout room will have a specific thing that they're focused on. There's all kinds of stuff which are going to go over my head that they're going to talk about. I don't know everything. I don't know all about the security and all of the things it needs to meet and all these compliance. I don't know. But I will extract from the conversation what the requirements are based on the people in the room who do know. See, so we leverage each other. We don't have to know I don't have to know everything about security and authentication and multi-factor. I don't need to know all of it. They know, and they can tell me, and I can document it in a way that is clear. That's what I do. So divorce yourself from the need to feel like you have to know it to document it. You don't have to know it to document it. You can take it from the person who knows it, write it the best way you can, and then ask them to review, ask them to clarify, ask them to, sign off on it, and that's it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll have breakout rooms for different topics. This is the second such workshop with this client that I'm having, and I'm liking it. And it's a part of, I think I'll include this in some of my best practices with how you break things up to make sure that you don't, let me say this, what I like about this Canadian company is that they seem to value your work and your life. I don't want to call the word balance, because of late, I have divorced myself from the word work-life balance. Because I used to try to have work-life balance. I want to try having time with my daughter and time with my family and going out with my friends and being helpful to you guys, like doing the videos all the time. And I'm trying to do everything. And I found out that in the pursuit of doing everything and trying to balance it all, give everybody equal amounts of my attention, I wasn't in focus. It's like you can't be balanced and also in focus. And I felt like I needed to be in focus to get things done. I made promises that I needed to commit to and meet. And in order for me to meet that, I have to get away from everything else so I can have laser focus to get it done. I can't be balanced if I'm trying to focus. So I give up on this work-life balance thing, and I think it's a farce. I just feel like the work should not force you to want to feel like you need to balance. You know what I mean? So what I like about this Canadian company, and it's a stark contrast to American companies, is that in my American company, I have VPs, I have leadership that will send me emails at 1 o'clock in the morning consistently. Just send emails. I have meetings that start at 8 o'clock. And when you start at 8 o'clock, they're asking about things that they sent you at 1 in the morning. Like, bro, I'm not looking at your email at 1 in the morning. Oh, yeah, I know. But I just wanted to make you aware that I sent it. I'm aware. Yeah. But they don't do it to be micromanaging or to be pressuring. I understand why they do it, because they themselves are under so much pressure that they can't get a day's work done within a day. They themselves are doing too much. It's too much on their plate. So at the end of the day, when they're in all these meetings and doing all this stuff, when you're meeting all day, you don't have time to do the work. So now at the end of the day, at night, when everybody's gone to bed, that's when they have some free time and they go into their computer and just finish off the day's work that they couldn't get done, not for any fault of their own, but because they were in meetings all day. So what they do is they send emails to me at 1 a.m. in the morning, right? And it's just a coping mechanism because we're all working so hard. This is an American company, right? The lifestyle in America forces you to just be chasing down the job because you have to pay these bills and you're under pressure all the time. It's a real rat race. But what I enjoyed about working with the Canadian company is that they seem to understand everybody in the company, from leadership down to the janitor, that it's a job and you do it because you have to survive, but it shouldn't take over your entire life. And they don't want to burn you out because they want you to show up the next day ready to go. They want you to show up and do a better job the next day because you weren't burnt out from the day before. See, I feel like they understand this concept very well. So in this particular company, when I have meetings, they set it up so that we have meetings in the mornings where we meet with each other and we discuss all the recurring things that we need to talk about. So I have my stand-up, I have my core team meeting, I have, defect triage meeting, I have all these other meetings that we have regularly. And we keep ourselves accountable. But you see, when 12 o'clock comes, it's lunchtime, baby. Don't you dare meet with anybody during lunchtime. They actually make it so that you're not supposed to be at your desk at 12 o'clock. Like the company, they're here in Montreal, right? So they're here. But it's right behind one of those buildings that I'm actually gonna walk to the office tomorrow because it's so close by. I can literally see it behind me. They're here. And some people come into the office. So when we have meetings, they'll tell you, oh, have a happy lunch. Happy lunch. At 12 o'clock, if your meeting goes over, people are falling off the meeting. And it's totally fine. I gotta go. What do you gotta go to? Lunch? The time, it's time for lunch. So whatever you're talking about, just cut that shit fast because it's lunchtime, right? There's something to be said, the fact that they're kind of French and the French have a different approach to life, kind of. But I like that. I like the fact that they're very, very focused on what's important. And in the afternoon, I tried to have a meeting moved one time because I couldn't make it. And I said, hey, can we move our 11 o'clock to 1? And they came back and said, no, we leave after lunch for team collaboration. So if I need to collaborate with you, I can have a little time to sync up with you and talk with you and discuss with you and get everything cleared. We shouldn't have any recurring meetings happening after 1 o'clock. In other words, it's time for the teams and individual people to meet together and talk about things that they need to talk about. So in our world, we could be working on something and I might need to just quickly sync with one of my developers real quick about something that he's blocked on. That's what the afternoon is for. The afternoon is not for recurring meetings. And that's great because it gives me time to do a day's work in a day. I have my recurring meetings before 12 o'clock, so I know I need to prepare and I'm at it and I'm on top of my game. And then if I need to reach out to any individual person after 1 o'clock, I know their calendar will be free because we don't do recurring meetings at that time. Now, obviously you can't do everything before 12. Some things are gonna, so on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have a refinement meeting with a limited amount of people. Our refinement meeting is with the PO, myself, if we need to, might pulling a developer if we need their input, but we try not to disturb the developers at any cost. They need to focus on finishing the task because we got get the sprint done. So the leadership, myself, the POs, the PMs, whoever, Scrum Master, we meet, and if we have something to prioritize, something to make a decision on, we do that, but we try not to disturb QAs, developers, UX designers. We try to keep them free of meetings because, I don't want to be in the meetings either, but unfortunately, I need to write the requirements, and if I'm not in the meeting, I don't know what the decisions are. But I like that way of working. It works better. I'll give you the opposite of that. I was on a project that was completely madness. It was so mad, meaning they were trying to run you down as if they wanted you to just work on their thing at the rate that would be very pressuring, and they made it harder because whatever they decide today, tomorrow they undo that decision. And they were short-tempered. They wanted requirements like tomorrow. Any mistake that the team made was like a big blow up, but then they were making mistakes that they tried to minimize. It was such a toxic kind of work environment with them, and I was happy to leave that project because what they would do is they would have a fantastic idea, which is great, and we would say, yeah, we can do it, and then we went off and we estimated and we wrote requirements and we discussed, and then they come back and say, oh, the leadership said they don't want to do that anymore, so we got to do something different, and now everything you've done is now obsolete, and then you got to start over, and then they come with another fantastic idea, which we're like, okay, yeah, we could do that too, and then we go off and we go estimate, because it takes work to figure out if we can do something. The SA has to go look at the architecture, the back-end developer has to go look at the back-end code, the front-end developer has to look at the code. There's work to tell you if we can do it. So they would come up with these ideas and ask us, can we get it done? And then we would go off and do some preliminary work and some estimations and give it to them, and then they would say, yeah, that sounds cool, but then now our leadership doesn't want to do that no more. And we're like, oh my God, how many cycles of this are we going to go through? And then when they finally agree on something, they want it yesterday. And they're like, oh, right, we started the project XYZ time and now we're midway and we don't have a deliverable. Because you kept changing your mind. Because we couldn't move forward because everything we built was throwaway work. And then there would be snobbish, and it was just so wild. It was so wild. So it's just a different approach. So you're going to, in your career, you're going to meet clients, and it's not only large companies that have this. In my case right now, these are large companies, but you're going to meet clients, small or large, who they feel that because you're working for them, you're not really working with them, and so they feel that they're paying you for your time. So you should be at their whim and call always, and they're just difficult. This is what a difficult stakeholder looks like, right? So the way I dealt with that one was I could get out of that project. I got out of it. It wasn't worth the effort and the stress to me. I mean, I'm writing requirements at night. I'm up on a Sunday. I'm up 2 a.m. because the thing that you told me today, you want the results tomorrow. So now I have to go right over all these requirements, rewrite them. Then I have to go talk to the software architect. Then he has to go redesign what he designed already. Then we got to go give it to the developers for them to build it. And it's like rush, in a hurry going nowhere. Because the time we took to keep stopping and reassessing and redoing new ideas that you keep coming up with, it takes away from just going forward. So when people have double mind, is really a disadvantage in the BA world, any world. When you can't decide, every idea sounds great, you're just running down shiny objects, you really distract the team. And that was what was happening. So it was hard because that mindset, then they didn't respect like time, like your time as a person. Like they want to send you email on a Sunday, they want to send you email on Saturday, they want to reach out to you at 5 a.m. they want to have meetings at 6 p.m. Like it was just keep going, right? We have to meet this deadline before the end of the year, so everybody needs to come in and do the stuff. And no, you don't have to. You really don't have to. I don't have to. That's for sure. But it hurt me to know that you could work with people who don't value your balance at all, right? Now, I'm a workaholic. I put my whole soul, my whole heart into whatever I'm doing, because whatever has my name on it, I want it to stand for quality. So when I show up at work, I really do show up. But I was very annoyed. I am annoyed still when I get emails late at night. Like, I think you should know better, because what you do is you create anxiety for no reason. Like when you send me an email at 2 a.m., I would expect an email at 2 a.m. is when the house is on fire, the system crashed, people don't know where to find stuff, and like emergency, like get up and look at this. But if it's just, oh, we have a change in the BRD, and you want to tell me that at 2 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? Bro, calm down, calm down. So those are some of the things you'll face, and those are what makes toxic job environments. But like I said, this Canadian company, God bless them, they have really shown me that you can do a good job for good people, and you don't have to feel completely burned out. It's not normal to feel burned out. Like we in America, we think this is how it is. Oh yeah, everybody's working hard. Oh yeah, everybody's doing 2-3 jobs. Oh yeah, let me fix this camera here. Hard to do in the hotel room. That's better. So we in America, we think that this is the norm. We think that, oh yeah, everybody's working hard, everybody has 2-3 jobs, you're lucky you work from home. No. You're not supposed to be working at this rate. You're not supposed to be feeling exhausted and depleted every single day of the week, and only on Saturday and Sunday can you even breathe. And on Saturday and Sunday when you're supposed to breathe, now you have, if you're a woman, you have everything else to do. You gotta clean your house, you gotta clean, you gotta wash clothes, your kid needs to go to soccer practice, the dog needs to get a haircut. Everything needs to still be done. So I do all of it myself. I'm doing it all by myself. And I just realized I can't be in balance and be in focus at the same time. So what I've allowed to happen, because right now I'm working on the membership program for you guys. I promised a lot of people this, and I promised the courses, and the courses are so good. The courses are so good. You're going to love them. Let me just say that. I have seen what the market is producing, and I said to myself, if I'm coming up and this is all I had to pick from, I'd be lost, confused, and broke as a joke, because I wouldn't get the job. Right? Because not that the tutors are not willing to teach you, it's just people have different style of teaching, and if you're not in the world, sometimes you don't understand how it practically applies. You do all the theory and you feel good because you can pass an exam, but in the real world of work, they're not checking on your exam, they're checking on what you know. So you have to job train you. You have to be job trained with practical examples. It's no longer time to learn about a book system at the library. Okay, we're not doing that no more. It's no longer time to learn about, some simplistic example that you're not gonna have in the real world. You need real world case studies, because how are you gonna practice, right? So the courses I'm coming out with are gonna be so filled with everything real, because I've done enough of these projects to know exactly what to tell you to do, right? So I give you the examples, you can follow along with me. I've even put some of the insightfuls that I've had in the past as courses. You know, you can, if you miss the insightful, don't worry, you can go and watch it as a course and learn. And they have quizzes, we have downloadable material, all the questions that you have are also answered in a part of the course. It's just, I am very proud of it, and I can't wait to launch it so you guys can see it and be able to participate in it. Also includes a membership, and there's a lot of other stuff that it has. So this is coming up, but I can't be in focus for those things and also be in balance, right? Like, I look at my dog, and my dog needed to get a haircut. As you know, my dog has one eye, because I'll tell you the story. I had to go travel. When I left him at the doggy daycare, when I came back, he was fine when I picked him up. But the very next day, his eyes started getting red and started having mucus and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what? And it happens so fast. With these dogs, when they get sick, it's like from today, great, running around, and tomorrow, done. So I was so scared, because I'm like, oh my God, the dog, I've had him since 2020. My daughter is so attached to him. I love him so much. We don't want to lose the dog. So I rushed him to the vet, and I had to travel to another location and internationally. And so I left him with my friend, and my friend, she was alarmed. She's like, oh my God, the dog's eye. And I was like, yeah. So she was such a good friend. She took him to the vet for me. And the vet said he had to be operated on immediately. So we had to go there, operate on him, took his eye out, and now I have a one-eyed dog. So the dog's name is Jackson. So now we call him One-Eyed Jack. Now his name is One-Eyed Jack, okay? But yeah, I can't be focused and also be in balance. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I was beating up on myself, because I'm like, I'm not perfect. Like, I need to go do stuff with my daughter. She got to go to gym practice. I got to go to school activities. I got to do parent teacher stuff. I got to do the videos for y'all. I have a bunch of people on my projects who need requirements and need meetings. I got to facilitate workshop. I got to travel. Like, there's so much to do. And I started feeling overwhelmed. I didn't make a video for a long time, because I'm like, I can't do all of it. What can I do? And I decided I'm going to launch my courses, and I'm going to launch my membership program. And that, in conjunction with my job, obviously I have to keep the job going, because that's where I get most of my money. But I wanted to do this courses and membership thing for a long time. I'm like, I'm going to focus on it. While I'm focusing on it, I can't do these other things. So these are the things that are going to have to wait. And let me focus on something that I really want to sit down and get done. It is difficult. It's very difficult. But I'm never one to shy away from difficulty. I just have to strategize. I don't look at what I can't do. I look at, of all the things I have to do, what can I do now? Right? And so I structured my life so I do the most important and essential things first. My daughter is my number one priority. So her stuff can't cut that out. We gotta have mommy-daughter time. We gotta have homework time. I gotta make sure she knows how much she's loved and how much, she's the center of my world. So I gotta make time for her. So, okay, time. I have to do the stuff for my job, and it's so demanding. There's so many things I have to deliver. I have to do it because the whole team is waiting on me. I'm not saying I am the center of everything, but I feel like I'm the center of everything, right? So my requirements are important for them to have what to work on for the sprint. So that has to be done. That's my job. I cut out everything else. You hear me? Cut it out. TV, gone. Now, I wasn't a TV person anyway. I don't binge watch things. I think the last thing I binge watched was Game of Thrones. That was the last thing I binge watched. Like, I have pockets of time that I would watch television. When I feel like, okay, I want to relax now, then I go watch TV. But I'm not driven by any TV show. Like, you can't tell me, oh, we got to go watch Bridgerton because it's the third season. I don't care. I will watch it when I have some time. Like, I'm not on any TV show's time clock, right? So that's very easy for me to cut out because I was already halfway done with that. So, but I cut TV out, gone. I was dating, my God. So one day I will tell y'all about how a business analyst like me with an analytical mind like mine handles the dating world, where you meet all kinds of people. So I was going on dates, but I found them to be distracting, because I would meet guys and they would be nice guys, want to take me to nice places, but the whole get to know you, talk with you, make time for you got distracting, because I realized I can't make time for him. I can't. I ain't got no more time. Time's done. So it wasn't fair to him I can't give you the energy that you require while I'm doing my stuff, because I don't bring people into my space fully when I'm dating them. Like you'll never know I have a problem. You'll never know what and all I'm doing, because when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you about you and stuff that you want to do. I don't need help. I don't need anybody to come pay my bills. I don't want it when I start talking to you, because I don't want to confuse you with my affection versus your help of any kind. So I just met someone. There's no way in hell I'm going to tell you of all the things I'm already dealing with that I need to spend my attention on. I either have attention for you or I don't. And if I don't, I will tell you, hey, you're a nice guy. I really enjoyed our time together, but I can't make it this Saturday. I have something else I have to do. And if I have to keep telling you that, the guys will think I'm not interested. Sometimes I am interested. I can't give you the time you want, you know? And so I was dating somebody and he kept asking me, so can we go on a date on Saturday? When I look at my Saturday, it's too busy. I can't. So I tell him no. So, okay, we'll reschedule, and the next time, okay, how about Wednesday? How about that? You know, and I just told him it's not gonna work, you know, because I don't have time at all. Because first of all, I'm a single mom, and as a single mom with no family, I have to orchestrate a date, right? I have to get a babysitter. I have to I have to plan my whole. It's a lot of planning just to go on a date with you, and if you're not worth my time, I feel so much worse, because now I gotta get made up, I gotta go dolled up, I put my nice dress on. It costs us money to go on dates, you know, guys. Y'all think that you're paying for the date and blah blah blah. It costs me at least $300 just to get out the door. Every time I leave my door, I don't spend less than $300. If I'm going on a date with you, at least $300, because I got to pay the babysitter. That's $150. Then I might have to do my nails and my toes. And in my place, in my town, Atlanta, it's like $150 for your nails and toes. It's not that bad. Some places are more expensive. You know, I don't consider hair, like that's me. Like I will get my hair done. I don't count that. And I probably have a dress I can wear that I already had. So I'm not going to count like new clothes or anything, because I rarely buy something just for a date. So I already have it. So it costs money. And when I spend $300 just to show up, and then the date isn't good, when you pay half my meal, and my meal's gonna cost me what, $50 sometimes, $100 the most, I'm losing all the time. I'm always losing. I spend more money to get there than you did for the dinner. So it's just, I cut dating out, you know, just, I am like, what's her name? Leslie. Leslie says, just put everybody in the app and call it what's left. Did y'all see that?
Okay. Because I tried dating apps for a little
God.
while.
That first of all, they just need to put all the apps on one app and call it what's left.
That was so funny. I'm like, yes, girl. Here comes the truth. You can trust Leslie to tell you the truth. That woman is so funny. So yeah. So I cut dating out altogether, and I'm fine with that. I wasn't on the apps anyway. I'm not on any of the apps. I meet guys in person doing my own business. I'm not going out of my way to meet nobody. But in the course of doing my own business, traveling, going to places, I like to go hiking, I like, you know, whatever I'm doing, I might meet somebody and they strike up a conversation with me and they ask me out, I go out. Or sometimes what I've noticed of late, guys that I have known from the past, like in college, or an ex-work co-worker that no longer works at the company, or somebody always comes into my sphere and eventually asks me out, right? So I don't feel like I have less opportunities because I'm not on the apps. I don't miss the apps at all. I'm just doing me. And in the course of doing me, I am meeting people, and some of them want to take me out and go out with them. But I haven't I can't dedicate my time to dating right now, so I'm not dating right now. And I'm fine with that. It's just, again, I can't be in focus and also be balanced. I'm just going to be unbalanced for now while I'm in focus. When I get the thing I'm trying to focus on done, I'll go back to some of the balancing, right? But it's just, you gotta give yourself a break. Stop beating up on yourself for not having everything perfect, because we're not perfect. And we have to, especially us who are career driven, and we have a goal that we're trying to accomplish. And as a woman, and as a Black woman with this kind of goal, where I am trying to raise up as many Black people into the business analysis career, into six figures, into analytical things. I want us to become an army where when you think of a BA, the image that comes to mind is a Black person who is super smart, right? Like when I think of a programmer, unfortunately, I don't think of a Black person who is super smart. I think of an Indian or a white person, right? But somehow they have cornered that market and they have dominated that market. And that's what you envision when you think of a programmer, especially an Indian person. Why can't we corner the analytical space too? Just the way we've excelled at dancing, we've excelled at music, we've excelled at, shaking our asses on the club, right? And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, let's balance that perception with super smart and analytical also. So you can see us in all of these realms. Not to say there's not a lot of us already here. There's a ton of people already here. But when I go into these rooms, these meetings, sometimes it's just me. I don't want that no more. I want to see a lot of us. When you go to the dancing, you go to a club, you go to a music festival, you go to, like, anywhere it's entertainment, we are all over that. But where it's education and it's analytics and it's corporate excellence, we are not all over that. And I would like us to be. I think we have a great opportunity now that we're forming this wonderful dedicated space of business analysis. I feel like we're still forming it. It's not yet saturated. I think we can do so well. And if I can play a small part in that, I will. So I focused on the membership and the courses, and that's what I've been doing for the last couple of months. It's been much more. And when I step back, and right now we're so close to launching, when I step back and I look at what I've built, I said to myself, you were like rushing yourself. You were upset with yourself because you're like, why isn't it done yet? Like, I want it to be done now. But look at what you've really built. You've built a whole ecosystem in a very short time that would have taken many, many teams to build. And you yourself and Joshua have been able to put this together. It's a big accomplishment. And I want to say that if you're going to accomplish great things, you can't be in balance, because you need to focus. And the focus and the balance doesn't work together. And it's okay to let other things fall out of your life while you focus on what you need to get done. I'm really very strict on what I allow to distract me. Social media was a big distraction. Now, I know it's a distraction and I'm conscious of it. So I don't wake up in the morning and scroll. But sometime a little pop-up comes and I make the mistake of clicking on one thing. I click on one thing and then boom, I end up in a scroll hole, just scrolling. And I'm conscious and I'm like, it's been an hour, Karaleise, of you scrolling this thing. Stop. My brain says stop. My finger keeps going, you know? So I have to be very cautious about how I interact with social media. I try not to get the pop-ups. I try to reduce my notifications. I rather to watch a movie than watch something on a short, because I end up going through it. And I don't use TikTok at all. I try not to use TikTok. It's very difficult to stay off the social media. It's so addictive, and it's a little toxic, but it's not really toxic. Meaning, you can curate what you see. So if you end up seeing things that are a little bit too toxic, I'm like, what did I tell the algorithm? Why it started to show me this stuff? I don't want to see this. And I dislike things, and I go in and I search for things I want to see, so it can know I like this stuff and show me more of the thing I want to see. So I've been very cautious about how I use social media to try to reduce just the waste of time, the waste of time. And I have seen results. I have seen positive results from trying to focus and not beating myself up for not being balanced and perfect, right? And I've had to learn that a hard way, because I always want everything to be great. My house is spotless, my dog is shaved, my kid is doing well in school, and I'm spending time at the gym. I'm doing like all of these things that you're supposed to be doing. I want to do them all, and I realize I can't do them all. So now I focus on getting these couple 2 or 3 goals done. My daughter, I don't lax on her, and she's getting older, guys, and she's becoming smarter. And the other day she had all A's, and when she comes home with something like A's, the way I celebrate her is absolutely wild. It's wild. So you get drawn to that kind of energy from your parents. It's more motivation to do better or to keep doing good, right? So she comes home with A's now. So they do a very stupid thing here in Georgia, where they test the kids at the beginning of the semester for that semester. So if she's going to 4th grade, they give her a 4th grade test at the first day of school, the first week of school. So obviously she's not going to have the best grade, because you're testing her what she hasn't learned yet. It's very stupid, but they keep doing it. And so they do that test in August when they start school, and then they call you in October, which I just went, and they show you the test results from August and say, oh, she wasn't doing so well because she got B's here and here, she got B's here. And I was like, when did she take this test? Because everything needs to make sense to me. When did she take? Oh, she took it in August. And what was she being tested on? Oh, it was 4th grade stuff. Oh, but she didn't start 4th grade yet. She just was in the first week of school. And the things you tested her. Oh, yeah, but she would have been prepped for 4th grade from the end of 3rd grade. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So you're saying that when she came back from our holiday, where she and I, we went to Mexico, we went to Jamaica, we did all this fun stuff when she wasn't studying because she's on school break. So the first thing when she come back from school, where she's not yet into the mode of studying again, you're testing her on the stuff she learned before the break, and you expected her to get a flawless grade, right? Don't make no sense. So now they give you this false impression the kid is not doing well in school because she's getting B's, because they tested her on stuff she hasn't learned yet. And they tested her when she just came back from school after having an expansive, great, because for me, geography is not really taught, it's shown. Like, I go to places and show her places and show her things. So she's been learning other things outside of classroom work during the summers, right? We go to the zoo, we go to different places. I took her to Mexico to look at the Mayan ruins and teach her about the Mayans. Like, this is how I teach my kid. So when they told me that, I was a little bit disappointed. I'm like, am I being a bad mom? I'm working too hard and don't have time for my daughter, or what? Like, what's going on? And then I realized they're testing her too early, and they're testing her on topics that some of it would have been forgotten because it's been 2 months. And she was all over the world doing all kinds of stuff with me. So I'm like, what? Let me not worry about it. So I went home and said, Chanel, the teacher said that you weren't doing a good job, and you didn't do very well here. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mom. And she hold her head down. I'm like, no, it's okay, honey. Just make sure you do better the next time. So the next test comes around, and she goes and she does an excellent job, and she comes home and she says, Mom, I have something to tell you. Because my kid is a drama queen, and she's like so funny. I'm going to share with you some of her jokes, and you're going to just laugh. But she's so awesome. I won the daughter lottery. Okay, I feel like I won the daughter lottery. I know all of y'all think the same because your kids are awesome too, but I love my kid and how she is. She's super awesome. So she comes, she says, Mom, you know, you're not going to be happy with these grades. And she's clutching her folder with her grades, right? And I'm like, what? Because, you know, I get alarmed. I'm an alarmist a little bit about her in school. So she's like, yeah, I only have this to show you. And she shows it to me. And I open it up. Like, I'm a little bit nervous opening it up. And I open it up and I take a paper out. And she got 100% A. And I'm like, what? And my expression and I jumped up and I danced and I screamed and we did all kinds of stuff. She gets A's a lot, but when she gets them, I am overly, like, I go over the top, as if I've never seen her get an A before, right? Because she, you know, it's just the excitement I show. It's so encouraging, I believe, and it makes her kind of addicted to that behavior from me, and she wants to see it, so she has to keep bringing in more A's to get me to do all this fancy, crazy stuff, and the jumping and the screaming and the roof. You know, and I call on my friends, and my daughter's so smart, and I brag on her, and she likes to hear that. So I went all crazy for the A's, and I felt better. I was like, you know, this is why you can't try to beat yourself up for being perfect. You want to be the perfect mom. You're doing the best you can, and your kid is gonna be fine. And if you get up every morning and show that kid love, the kid is going to excel in all things, because the thing the kid needs more than anything else is the love. To feel heard, to feel like they belong, to have their own space, to know that you're there for them no matter what. And I provide that for my daughter, so she's going to be absolutely fine. So I have to release the sense that I have to be perfect at everything. And I have to just know that it's all going to be okay. And God's got me. If I never gave y'all my origin story and how I came about to be here sitting in front of you, one day I'll tell y'all. I told some of it before, but the whole story you'll hear at some point. But it's been a journey, for sure. And the things I've had to overcome are unheard of. You know, I shouldn't be here, and I am, because God's got me, you know. And everybody who tried to, like, and it hasn't been many people. Most people are the people I encounter, I've had good relationships with them. But there's been a few people here and there that have tried to, like, set traps for me, and they always fall in their own trap. I don't have to do anything, okay? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to conspire. I don't have to get back at you. I don't have to do nothing, because I'm so blessed that God says, I will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you. So when people come against me, I just let them say, because I know they're cursed. They are cursed because I am blessed. And I can only be blessed if I do the right thing. You can't say you're blessed and you're blessed and you're blessed and you're doing the wrong thing. You're not helping others. What you do behind closed doors is so atrocious. You cannot be blessed. But if you are doing the right thing, your light will shine through. People are not idiots. They can see. And the Spirit will tell you when you're in the presence of a good person. The Spirit will tell you when the person is genuine. You will feel, even over the internet, you'll feel it, because it's genuine, right? So I'm blessed. And it is my calling, I believe, to bless others with my knowledge. I didn't know this, but I'm finding it out that I have a skill, and it's not just being analytical and being able to do these requirements and work on these complex projects and help teams to become more successful, but I'm also blessed in being able to explain it and to teach it. And if I do not do this, I will not continue to be successful. It's not about money. I'm not creating this membership and these courses to make money. I mean, it's gonna cost you because my time is worth something. But the aim is not to make money as such. The aim is to help people. My focus is on the people who out there who doesn't even know me is gonna be blessed by my content, and is gonna take what I tell them and apply them, get the job, get more money, change the arc of their career, and be able to support themselves and their family. This is a very important goal of mine. My goal is not to have 1 million followers on YouTube. Like, I want that. That would be cool. But can I reach people who are struggling, who have heard of this career but don't know how to do it, who have been told that, hey, you can become a BA, you can do something with your life, but you don't know what to do, and you're going to stumble into the career, and you're going to figure it out with my help, and you're going to make the money, and you're going to be able to afford the things you need to afford, and your life is going to be better, and your kids' lives are going to be better. Can you imagine? Just the knowledge that I can help somebody to do that. That is worth it, right? And I've done that before because people have written to me. People have told me, hey, Karaleise, I got the job with your help. Hey, Karaleise, thank you so much for your video. I'm able to, run this workshop and feel very confident about it. Like, if I can help people to do that, it's not a small thing. It's a big thing. And I want to tell you that there are many people out here who have a skill, a talent at something, and they're like, nah, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to know that I can bake. Who cares? Nobody wants. There's 1,000 people already baking on the internet. I don't want to do that. Do it and turn your camera on and do it. There are 7 billion people in this world. All 7 billion have something important to share. All 7 billion. Now, not everybody's going to do that, but your thing, never think that your thing is not important. Your thing is important. I've seen people play games online. They're literally playing a game, and it's changing the life of somebody. Somebody's watching it, and they get millions of followers. And we would think that's kind of super. That doesn't, like, how do you help people by playing a game? But there are people who are sad. There are people who just need a laugh. There are people who are on the brink of depression, and your video could change how they think about the world because they got a laugh. You never know. There's value in everything. I feel like what I'm doing is very valuable because it can help you get a career that will make money, that can change your family, and I think that is ultimately what a lot of people want. So I think it's infinitesimally important, and that's why I focused on it. But I want to encourage you that your thing that you're thinking of doing is also important to somebody. And if you can do it, you should do it. I am successful because I've found my purpose, and I'm going to be continuing in the pursuit of that purpose. I'm just going to keep going at it. Even when it says it's time to stop, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to keep going at it. So I want to encourage you to do the same. So yeah, that's my rant. I don't know why I just sat down and thought I would just tell you all everything that was happening in my brain. I think it's the jet lag from the flight. Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. Maybe it's Montreal. Maybe Montreal has an effect on me because it's such a beautiful city. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. And look out for my membership program. Look out for the new stuff I have with the courses. I just want to encourage everybody that there is so much that you can do that you haven't done it. It's never too late. It's not late for you. If you haven't started yet, it's not late. You can get going. Everything is happening in the time God wants it to happen. If you're thinking about starting a career as a business analyst, it's not too late. It's not. You could be 55 years old. It is not too late for you. Okay? And I'm good for it. I'm the person to help you get started for sure. But yeah, that's my rant for today. I am going to unpack and get myself ready for tomorrow. I have to be there by 8 o'clock, but this hotel is great because they have buffet breakfast downstairs, and they have open bar. I think they have snacks at lunchtime, and there's some other stuff. But I'm gonna try some Montreal cuisine. I want to try the poutine. Everybody's like, try poutine. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go try this. So I'm gonna try some of the Montreal cuisine tomorrow, and yeah, I'm just gonna look forward to all of the stuff. It's gonna be great. And yeah, let's talk and look out for the stuff I'm coming out with, and I'll catch up with y'all another time. Bye.